Hey guys, it's me, Jimmy's Customs, back again with another custom minifigure video. Today I have my Endgame figures. So this is gonna be a part one in a multiple video series, and when I say Endgame figures I mean Infinity War and Endgame figures. So yeah, let's get started with my first set of figures. First up we have one of my favorite figures, which is Captain America. In the movie he was awesome and I really like this figure that I've made of him. So yeah, let's start off from top to bottom. We've got the helmet. So the helmet was the one that came in the set, but the back of it was really thick to hide the back face print on the figure. So what I did is I sanded that down heavily. Then what I did is I painted the white bits on the mask, on the helmet, the A and the wings, silver. So here you guys can see that. Then what I did is I scratched out any of the black bits on the wings, and you can see that. Then what I did is I repainted the bits that I sanded, and I think sculpted a bit in to the top of the helmet because it had a hole in it. What I did with that is I painted the dark blue to match the helmet. Then what I did is I took a face that came in the Civil War sets and a couple other ones that was used for Steve Rogers, Captain America. And what I did is I erased the smile on that face and I repainted the more serious expression, and then painted his cheekbones down lower because they were a bit too short. And you can see it, but yeah, underneath we just got that head. I can show you guys that off. It was painted, the mouth was painted a bit lower on the head to make it look more normal when the helmet's on, but I might make a changeable face for it maybe in a later video, I might not. I used to have one, but I ended up using it for another custom figure. But yeah, so moving down, I've got the torso, which what I did with that is I sculpted that almost completely. What I did is I sculpted the white areas in, and I cut out the extra green stuff, sorry. And then on the top of the, so that was for the red and white sections, painted that red and white. Then I painted the little black lines on there. Then what I did is I took the top of the torso, which what I did for that is I actually I sculpted another bit. Then I took the edge of a knife, the grip of it, and I'll show you guys a close-up. But what I did is I rolled that over the bits that were quite firm but still slightly wet, so it wasn't completely dry on there to get like a more scaly pattern. Then what I did is I cut out a star out of electrical tape, painted that silver, and then I took a toothpick which I sharpened and painted little black lines on the star like he has in the movie. And so yeah, then also what I did is I took, and this is for all the fabric bits on the figure, so on the chin strap and the torso, I took bits of brown Lego fabric from a brown Lego K, dark brown one. Then what I did is I sculpted the arms, which what I did is I sculpted the shoulder pads, the wrist, and the arm straps on both sides. Then I painted a red circle on the top of the shoulder pad, and then I took a toothpick that I sharpened and painted white Avengers A on both sides. And also I took the shield that came in the set, which was actually a pretty decent shield, and I painted metallic red, silver, and blue. Then I painted into the metallic silver star, I painted black lines on there to look like the movie, and yeah. Then what I did is I took a Lego Batman belt from the sets and I think I primed it first, then I painted it brown and I chopped it all up and glued it on there. Instead of taking the middle bit, what I did is I just painted a belt buckle on there because that ended up looking better, I think. And I painted the little silver dots to be the belt buckle buttons. Then what I did is I sculpted the knee pads and the boots. The boots I painted two-tone brown and black, and the knee pads I painted dark blue with some black lines on there, and the belt goes over the back. And I didn't paint anything on the back, so what I was planning to do is make the Captain America shield magnetic, like I've seen a couple people do. Can't remember who did that, but it looked pretty cool in their video I remember watching a while back. And so yeah, I'd like to do that for mine. I'll bring Cap back around, and yeah, I'll move on to my next figure. So my next figure is Professor Hulk. This was an Age of Ultron Hulk big fig, and what I did is I sanded down the abs, I sculpted them in, I painted the t-shirt grey, I sculpted the cardigan all around the figure on the arms, I sculpted the sleeves a bit thicker, I painted the legs black for the black jeans he wears. Then what I did, this is where it got a bit more complicated, I actually sanded down the hairpiece so heavily that there was practically a hole in the top of it. Then what I did is I sanded that down a bit because a bit of it scratched the front of the face of the figure. So I had to sand that with like a good sandpaper to get those scratches off. Then what I did is I sculpted the glasses and painted the stubble on the face, painted the mouth, painted the eyes and the eye wrinkles, all the wrinkles near his eyes. And then, I sculpted the whole hair, like in the movie, because the Age of Ultron one, it looked very, like, scruffy and stuff, where in this movie, spoilers if you haven't, like, seen it already, which is kind of ridiculous, because Endgame's come out, it's been out for a long time, but if you're not, like, I don't know. Anyways, if you're watching this video, you probably should have seen Endgame by now. So here we go, there's a better look at the face of the figure, and pretty much what I did is I sculpted the glasses, painted the whole face, painted the stubble. I think I got the stubble look from The Last Prime, go check him out. His videos are really cool. And yes, that's where I got the stubble tutorial from. Then what I did is I sculpted the hair, sculpted the glasses. I actually went and painted like grey bits on the sides of the hair and did a light grey wash on the hair to make him, because he looks a bit older in this movie. And because like in the movies, I think when he's the Hulk, that's when Hulk ages. That's why he gets smarter in Ragnarok. And then eventually he ends up merging himself. So I think in this movie he's just meant to be the same age as Bruce Banner in the movie. And so yeah, that's Professor Hulk. And I really like this figure as well. I painted some black lines onto the chest and the back of the figure to give it a bit more, like, so it wasn't just a sea of blue and grey and everything. But yeah, that turned out really well. I'll move on to my next figure now. So here's Ronan / Hawkeye, and pretty much what I did for this figure is I took a Jedi hood, carved out the front and the sides. Then what I did is I sculpted all the torso. I took off some of the sculpting I did. Then I redid the belts in electrical tape. I painted the gold highlights on all of the costume. Then what I did is I sculpted the skirt piece of his shirt type thing. I would have done that in electrical tape now, but I did a while ago, and it actually looks really good sculpted. I got an aluminum like soft drink can. I don't really drink soft drink, but I had one laying around and it worked good for the belt. And I used it for a belt on a couple other figures. I sculpted the shoulder pads, painted the gold onto the hands and the shoulder pads. I painted gold onto the hood and onto the edges of the skirt piece. Then what I did is I painted the bit that like stops the hand from slipping on the sword. I painted that gold. And then I carved the sword to be thinner. I chopped it up so it was shorter as well. It actually looks the same length as a regular Lego katana, but that's just because when they're thinner, they actually like look longer, the swords in real life. What I did is I painted the actual blade silver, and yeah. Then that's about it for the figure. What I did is I made this like little pauldron thing that hangs off his shoulder out of electrical tape. I painted the gold highlights on there, and with the face I just used a standard clone head. I painted some gold onto the top of that. I painted a Jeremy Renner likeness that actually turned out really well, I reckon. And so that face turned out pretty well, and I painted the gold highlights on. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the face, but yeah. So that's that, and I'll move on to my next and final figure for the video. So here's Black Widow. I did, with this figure, I took an Elsa hairpiece, I sanded and carved. It's hard to sand because it's rubber, but I carved off the top middle section of the hair that was going through here on the top there. I took the face that usually comes with Black Widow figures. I painted the lips red, because she has like more of a red lipstick, I think, in this movie. I can't remember, but yeah. I remember something like that. I carved the rest of the hairpiece. I painted the goldy blonde, then I painted like an orangey gold, and then it smoothed that into the crimson, so then it looked like an ombre of sorts. Then what I did is I sculpted the gauntlets and the hands a bit. Then what I did is I sculpted the chest, painted the flesh tone on, which turned out looking well. There's glossy and matte bits of her costumes. The matte bits I painted in a light grey, and then the glossy bits I just painted in regular black to tell the difference, even though they're both black, because it looks different in the movie and in like the Hot Toys figure. I did that. I painted the little red highlights. I painted the red on the belt. I sculpted the belt and painted a little bit of red on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Black Widow. I was going to make this figure because I'm making some probably to go with the Black Widow movie, but then good news, the movie got pushed. Well, no, bad news, the movie got pushed back, but good news for me means I have more time to make those figures, which I was only going to make a little, like maybe 1 or 2 figures, but now I can probably make some more. But yeah, and it meant that, and I also just decided to make Black Widow because Scarlett Johansson was really good in the movie, and yeah, I'll wrap up this showcase now. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap up the video now, and if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to, ring that bell if you want to see some more videos from me, and yeah. I haven't made a video in a while, so this will be my first video like for quite a while. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys can continue look. And I think I said it already, but this is one video in a many part series I'm probably going to be doing, because I do have a lot of the figures made. I just haven't been able to make videos on them. And yeah, I've been mostly posting on my Instagram lately, so you guys can check that out. I'll link that in the description afterwards. But yeah, thanks for watching, and God bless and peace.